Tainara Lisboa versus Ravena Oliveira. Um, Lisboa is 6-2. She is 4-1 in her last five. 32 years old. 5'7", 67-inch reach. She's going up against Ravena Oliveira, 7-1-1, 5-0 in her last five. 26 years old, so she's going to be the younger fighter, slightly shorter fighter at 5'5". Reach, not too much there available even. Um, you know, this is going to be interesting too. We have another UFC debut against a person who has fought once in the UFC. So, I mean, Lisboa did a pretty good. I remember her performance against Jessica Rose Clark, who was a veteran. I think she did pretty well in that fight. She ended up actually submitting Jessica Rose Clark. So that's something that I really like to see from fighters is that, even if she had the easy decision in hand, she always played it to the kind of whistle, if you will, and went for the finish. So that's something that I do like when I see her. Lisboa, she does have great power. I think that she's a pretty good clinch striker as well. She has a lot of Muay Thai champion kind of accolades. If you look at her background, so I think that she does have really good stand-up skills. She was doing great against the feet against Jessica Rose Clark, who was a USC vet. Um, from the tape, I think that in the past she did get out grappled a bit, especially coming from more of like a Muay Thai kind of background. But she really stayed safe against Clark and showed good improvement in that area. So I do like that she's been improving, even if she's the older fighter in this case. Oliveira, she also comes from a similar kind of background. She has good Muay Thai skills, not as decorated as Lisboa, though. She does look for takedowns as well, but I think that she mainly engages in the clinch to obtain them. And I think that could be a bad recipe against a dangerous Muay Thai clinch kind of technician in Lisboa. So for this fight, I mean, just let you know of the odds. Lisboa is minus 310. She opened up at a minus 450. So there has been some dog money that's been taken on Lisboa there, or actually Oliveira there. Um, but God, I mean, UFC debut, and usually what I like to say and what I've kind of noticed is that, for women's MMA, if it's a debuting fighter, usually they are going to be I think there's going to be more of a skill gap there because I don't know if there's going to be that many, women in MMA that are actually that good in a sense. I think that part of the game is still developing in MMA. And when you break down these fights, you kind of have to see what the matchups are and why they're matching up certain fighters. So they matched up Lisboa against Jessica Rose Clark, who's a vet in her UFC debut. Um, I think that they were probably done with Jessica Rose Clark because she had taken a lot of L's at that point. Probably had really like big show money, so they're paying her probably a lot compared to other fighters. At this time, they're putting Lisboa against Oliveira, right? So I think that just because of that, I feel like they're giving Lisboa an easier matchup just to match up with her and kind of get her a little bit more steam going in her career. So then she could kind of match up with another fighter later on. I don't really see Oliveira as being really a the UFC's play in a way. I think Lisboa is still the play. That's why they fed her Jessica Rose Clark, and that's why Oliveira is fighting her. So I don't think that they're going to feed Lisboa to this Ravena Oliveira person. Pick is Lisboa, but once again, I don't play WMMA. So Gerard, what were your thoughts on this fight here?
So it seems to me that Lisboa, she's probably just all around the better fighter than Ravina in terms of experience, stand up, and even grappling and submissions. Um, yeah, like you said, a debut women's MMA skill gap is probably going to be a big thing here. I think, yeah, Lisboa is probably going to have the advantage all around. That's why she's such a big favorite when she opened, I think. But then again, I think maybe the people who were hammering the underdog, was watching Kanako versus Vanessa. And it's like, any dog woman's
Yeah,
fighter can win it. any
valuable ROI right there.
any huge any huge woman's underdog maybe has a 50-50
Yeah,
chance of getting the dub. So yeah, this is a pass for me, but I think Lisboa should win. But if it goes to a decision, and you never know. Uh, Ravena, she's a striker herself, so we got to see how the judges see it. Yeah, if Lisboa maybe be able to get a submission or something. She has the grappling advantage, so yeah, Lisboa should win. But it's another pass for me.
yeah. I could easily see this being like a 29-28 Ravena decision on all three judges. Like, I could definitely see it because I mean they're both pretty similar in style, right? Like you mentioned, I think obviously Lisboa is more decorated in probably all facets of the game, but it's very
Mm.
similar style in terms of that fight and how it's going to go down. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.